Day of Judgment, a phrase that people hear often but rarely stop to think about. Most imagine a distant apocalypse, a dramatic event far removed from everyday life. But the truth about the Day of Judgment is far more personal, far more immediate, and far more shocking than most people realize. It's not just a moment in time, it's the moment when everything hidden becomes visible. Every intention, every word, every action, small or big, returns to the surface. The Day of Judgment isn't simply about what you did, it's about who you became. Most people think judgment is about punishment. In reality, it's about clarity. It's the unveiling of who we truly were beneath the noise of the world. The masks disappear. The excuses disappear. What remains is the raw, unfiltered truth of our choices. Imagine standing in front of every moment you lived, not to embarrass you, but to show you yourself, to show you the power you had and how you used it, to show you the opportunities you ignored, to show you the good you did without ever realizing its impact, and to show you the harm you caused that you never took seriously. The shocking truth is that the Day of Judgment isn't unfair. It's exact, perfectly precise. Nothing exaggerated, nothing forgotten, nothing overlooked. The justice you always wished existed in the world. This is where it lives. But here's the part people don't talk about. Judgment isn't just about deeds. It's about intentions. Two people can do the exact same thing, yet one is rewarded and the other is not. Because what lived inside the heart is just as real as what appeared in the world. And perhaps the most surprising reality is that fear isn't supposed to be the main emotion of that day. The Day of Judgment is also a moment of unimaginable mercy. Mercy beyond anything we experience in life. People who counted themselves as failures may find their sincere struggles elevated higher than they ever imagined. People who thought their good deeds were small may discover that those tiny actions changed the world in ways they never knew. What no one tells you is that the Day of Judgment is not meant to paralyze you with dread. It's meant to wake you up, to remind you that today matters, that every choice leaves a signature on your soul, that every day builds the version of you who will one day stand before the truth. And in the end, the most shocking truth is this: the Day of Judgment isn't waiting for you. It's being written by you, right now, in this very moment. And here's where the reality becomes even more startling. The Day of Judgment isn't just a future event you'll experience one day. In subtle ways, you've already experienced pieces of it. Think about the moments in your life when a truth about yourself suddenly hit you, when a habit you ignored finally revealed its consequences, when someone confronted you with something you didn't want to hear. Those moments of painful honesty, they are tiny reflections of that final unveiling. Every regret you feel, every moment of guilt, every time your conscience whispers to you, that's a preview, a reminder, a small echo of something much greater. What no one tells you is that judgment doesn't begin with the world ending. It begins with you ending the illusions you've built around yourself. The Day of Judgment is not only about what is revealed to you, it is about what you reveal to yourself. You see, people imagine a terrifying scene, a blazing sky, angels, scales, divine command. But the most powerful part of that day isn't external. It's internal. It's seeing your life with perfect clarity. For the first time, you understand why you made the choices you made. You understand the ripple effect of every moment, how a kind word traveled further than you ever saw, how a careless action hurt someone more than you realized, how a silent act of patience saved a relationship you thought was broken. The truth is far more intimate than the dramatic images we grow up with. The ultimate shock is that you are not judged as a stranger. You are judged as someone fully known, deeply understood, and seen beyond what even you could see in yourself. And then comes the most overlooked truth. Nothing on that day is random. Every tear you held back, every temptation you resisted, every time you tried again when you wanted to quit, every good deed you thought was too small to matter, every sincere intention that no one ever saw, all of it is collected. All of it counts. What people rarely talk about is the astonishing amount of compassion that surrounds that moment. People imagine a harsh reckoning, but they forget that the one who judges you knows the weight you carried, the wounds you hid, the battles you fought silently, and the dreams you buried because life got hard. Nothing is dismissed. Nothing is wasted. And that's the true shock. Judgment isn't against you. It's for you, not to condemn you, but to reveal the truth you were always meant to become. So if the day of judgment, and the deeper you go into this truth, the more you realize something that is rarely spoken. The day of judgment is not only the end of a life, it's the beginning of understanding your life. For so long, we move through the world half-aware, distracted, rushed, chasing goals that later feel empty, ignoring moments that were actually shaping us. But on that day, every fragmented piece finally fits. Every unanswered why you carried in your heart is finally addressed with a clarity that leaves no confusion, no bitterness, no regret, only understanding. Imagine discovering that the challenges you cursed were actually building strengths you couldn't see, that the heartbreaks you questioned were carving depth into your character, that the delays you hated were protecting you from paths that would have destroyed you. It's only then that you see your story as a whole, not just the painful chapters, not just the beautiful ones, but the purpose behind them all. And this is where the shock deepens. The Day of Judgment isn't just a record of what you did, it's a revelation of what you meant to become. All the potential you had, all the compassion you were capable of, all the courage that lived inside you, waiting to be chosen, all the moments when you stood at a crossroads and your soul leaned toward what was right, even if your actions didn't fully follow. Nothing about you is forgotten in the final accounting. Not your fears, not your desires, not your disappointments, not your silent victories. Every moment that shaped your heart is part of that truth. You finally see the full arc of your existence, not as a series of isolated moments, but as a connected journey. You witness how every choice shaped not only your life, but the lives around you. You understand how your presence affected strangers you never knew were watching. You see how the tiniest acts of kindness became turning points in someone else's darkness. And you see how your failures taught others courage, patience, or forgiveness without you ever realizing it. This is the depth that people overlook. Your life is bigger than you think. Your influence is wider than you imagine. Your story reaches farther than you ever saw in this world. And when that truth unfolds before you, something incredible happens. Something almost no one talks about. You don't just see what could have been. You see what still can be rewarded, redeemed, elevated. You're not standing in front of a closed door. You're standing in front of the full truth of your effort. Because the Day of Judgment does not measure perfection. It measures sincerity. The moments where you struggled but tried. The moments where you fell but got back up. The moments where you didn't know the right choice, but chose what felt true and compassionate. The moments where you battled your own inner storms quietly, without applause, without recognition. And here comes the most unexpected part. You are judged with more mercy than you gave yourself. All the guilt you carried unnecessarily, all the harshness you directed inward, all the mistakes you magnified in your own mind, all the good in you that you dismissed as not enough. On that day, you finally see the difference between your fear of judgment and the reality of it. You realize you were seen the whole time, not as a failure, not as a disappointment, but as someone trying to navigate being human in a world that constantly pulls you in every direction. And the shock intensifies when you realize that the day of judgment is not designed to break you. It is designed to reveal you, not the version shaped by other people's opinions, not the version you pretended to be, not the version limited by your insecurities,